beauties, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Ashley. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and join the beauty family. Also, please don't forget to hit that bell notification button so you know when I upload. So today's glam, it's more of like a nude smoky eye. I really wanted to do like a smoked out liner look. So if you'd like to see how I achieved this glam from start to finish, keep watching. Alrighty beauties, so let's get into this eye. I think I'm going to do more of like a smoked out lash line, but like winged almost. So let's see. So I'm going to dive into the Huda Beauty Matte Obsessions palette. This one was the warm palette. I did a review on this, so if you haven't checked it out, please do so. But these are the colors. Absolutely gorgeous. So let's bring y'all in. First things, I'm going to go into these two shades right here. These will be my crease, my transition shades. Those type of colors really lay the foundation for me. It's like groundwork. So I place that in my crease and I'm just doing a windshield wiper motion. Sometimes I swirl. So just back and forth. This palette is very pigmented. Not that I was surprised, but it's really hard for some brands to make a good matte, I will say. And these mattes are really good. So I'm going to go to another palette actually. So this is my Shayla times Dose of Colors. This is the Wifey palette. And I'm mostly going to go into these shades along with that dark brown from the Huda Beauty palette. But I'm really working on smoking out the lash line. So I am going to start with this shade right here. I'm going to start placing that against my lash line because we're going to start creating that smoky effect. And we're really going to use our concealer to cut that line to make it a little sharp. So I'm just sweeping it back and forth against my lash line. And then I'm going to go into that next shade, that deeper brown color right here. And I'm just placing that right on top because once again we are just building up that intensity and just sweeping it back and forth. I'm trying to hold the brush further away so I have a little bit more control and more of a light hand. But it is giving wing liner, so you really want to take your time with this. So back in with the brush that I use in my crease, and I am just blending out the edges of those colors that are against my lash line, just so it has more of like a diffused look. So I'm gonna mix some of that brown and a little bit of that black and then go back in. So I'm just slowly building that up. As you can see, it is looking like wing liner. So I'm just going in and adding a little bit of that black on top. And I'm just bringing that up a little bit more. Just adding some more black. Because again, we want it to look smoky. This definitely takes a lot of patience in blending. Not gonna lie, it is not the easiest task. But it's giving Nicki Minaj liner. You know how she likes that dramatic wing liner? It's giving a little bit of that. Actually how it should look. And I am just using the same blending brush that I used in my crease, and I'm just blending out the edges of these colors. So that's why we layer it instead of going straight in with the black, because it looks a little bit more diffused, like it's fading in. So I'm going to go in with these two shades right here and add those on my lid because I still want that nude eyeshadow. Bringing that color, that nude color, down into the smoky shadow. So you see how it's looking now? It just takes a little bit of time to come together. You know, patience is a virtue. Just adding a little bit more of that nude color. Adding a little bit more of that nude color in the front. Go more with a pencil fluffy brush to go into that dark brown and that black color and just again smoke this out. It's a lot of back and forth, and then I'm going back in. I'm going to use some of that reddish brown color that I use in my crease and blend out those colors. It's okay if you get some of it on the lid because you can just go back in, add the same colors that you used on your lid. Again, going back in with those nude colors and just packing it back on to make sure we did not lose them. And essentially this is the eye look. Super stunning, just like that sexy smoky black winged out shadow, and then that nude color on the lid that just looks flesh-like, but you could tell that you have shadow on, but then it doesn't look like shadow, but then it just has like that clean look to it. So yes, it's just effortless. A little bit more of that black against my lash line because we know that's where the intensity comes, and also for my lashes, that's usually how I blend them. So now I'm going to pop on some lashes. So we have popped on some lashes, as you can see, and I just cleaned up the corner with some micellar water. But look at how sexy and sultry this looks. It's eating right now. So for foundation, I'm going to go with my Lancôme foundation. This is the Tient Idole Ultra 24-Hour Makeup. This is in the shade 510 Suede C. Now, I'm not sure if this is my shade. This was given to me, so we make it work. But honestly, I think it does match me. I don't really have any problems when I wear it, so that's the first indication. So I've already primed, honey, using my Danessa Myrix. Here's my shade, to be honest, because it literally just blends right in. So I'm going to go with my Huda Beauty Faux Filter. This is the concealer in the shade Crumble 7.1 Neutral. I definitely have a review of this up. I'm going to bring this a little bit up so it can cut underneath where I cleaned up my eyeshadow, just to give it a little bit more sharpness. For cream contour, I'm going with my Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Stick in Dark Deep. Honestly, I'm just gonna have to continue to look at it because I want to make sure I don't say deep dark. So just cream contouring. I'm gonna blend this out first while I let the Huda Beauty concealer sit so it can reduce some creasing. As you all know, my dual fiber brush to blend this out. While that is hanging out, I'm just going to use the butt of my beauty blender just to go over the foundation to make sure it's blended. It really helps to push the product back into the skin, so I'm just going to add a little bit more. So now we wait. Alrighty, so let's blend this out. Hopefully it didn't dry down too much. I was trying to sneak some food out the pot. Okay, no, we're good. It is blending. It is looking beautiful. So you see how it's cutting that eyeshadow, so you're really seeing that effect? That is exactly the look I was going for. So So before I forget, because I know I will, I'm going to go in with the Danessa Myricks. This is her Yummy Skin Cream Blush in Jubilee. So pretty. This is what it looks like. Y'all already know this is in the color family that I love. Looks stunning underneath one of my blushes. So I'm just gonna go in and set back my under eye. Definitely getting used to using a lot of these cream and liquid products. It's a little difficult to remember because like after I blend out my concealer, I'm like setting powder. So it's like I always have to remember, pause, let's wait, because you need to add in this cream blush. So I'm going in with my Huda Beauty setting powder in Blondie. Bring off the excess on my hands. And I am going into set. When we talk about flawless, this powder is flawless. So now we're gonna set this face. As you all know, I go in with 2 powders. These powders definitely give you a different look. So sometimes I might just go in with a plain foundation powder. So this one gives me like my flawlessness, extra coverage. I like full coverage, so that's why I go in with both of these. So this is more of a sheerer powder. This is my Sephora Micro Smooth powder. It does give a little bit of coverage, but not as much as I would like from the foundation powder. So I add on a lot of product because then, you know, it starts to wear down throughout the day. So that's usually why I add the 2. It's optional. Sometimes I might just do 1. It just depends on how I'm feeling. So just going in with the Sephora Micro Smooth first. Always want to pat the powder on. You never want to swipe, because if you're swiping, you're wiping away what's already there. If you're patting, you're adding the powder on. So now for the other foundation powder. So this is Fenty Beauty's Pro Filter Soft Matte Powder in 410. Bomb, bomb, bomb. As you can see, I hit pan. I do need to purchase another one of these. One of the very few products that I have repurchased, I would repurchase from Fenty. As you all know, the complexion is not my favorite, but I would definitely repurchase this, not even going to lie. It does give beautiful coverage. So for bronzer, I'm going with the Haus Labs bronzer in Deep Level 11. I love this packaging. This is what the product looks like. So I'm going to go in and set my under eyes with the NARS Soft Matte Advanced Perfecting Powder. This is in the shade Offshore. There is definitely a review up on this. So I didn't color correct my under eyes. I usually don't, but I'll use 2 concealers. So since I just went in with that 1 concealer, I just want to add a little bit of coverage. Because sometimes, you know, if it's too light, a little bit of darkness that you may or may not have kind of peeks out. So I just reinforce that by going in with a powder. So I'm just going to add that on my sponge and just apply it on top. It gives additional flawlessness, but it adds a little bit more color. But yeah, that's usually why I go in with 2 concealers, because although I don't have dark circles under my under eye, when you go too bright, it gives the illusion and it gives that gray cast. So as you can see, it looks a little bit different on the under eye. It looks exceptionally flawless. So now I'm going to smoke out this bottom lash line, and then I'll be back for some blush and the lip. Alrighty, so we are back. So now that I smoked out my lash line, did some mascara, I'm going to go into my blush. So this is Raisin by MAC. This is an OG. I've had this for a minute now. Legitimately was my favorite blush. It really is though, because I think it's like neck and neck with my Pat McGrath blushes, but Raisin is like my OG all-time favorite. Like before I started purchasing other blushes, it was Raisin. And once I started my channel, I was like, yeah, I'm probably gonna have to start getting new blushes because I can't pair Raisin with everything, but it honestly does still go with everything. I am obsessed with it. It is the best blush. Highlighter, we are going in with Flaunt from Rare Beauty. Gorgeous. I haven't decided on what liquid lipstick I'm going to use, but I know it's going to be nude, so we'll see. But first things first, you know, I have to start off with lining my lips. I'm going with an OG. This is Chestnut by MAC. You know what? I'm going to go into Gratitude by Jacqueline Cosmetics. So this is a nice nude. This is what she looks like. I'm gonna add this on top. I'm gonna go back in with some liner, clean that up. You know what? I'm not gonna add a gloss. I like how it's looking. We're giving all matte. Yeah, so I think I'm just gonna leave it at that. I was gonna add a gloss, but nope, we are going to leave it matte. So yes, beauties, this is the finished Glam. Stunning. So I hope you all enjoyed this look. This was really fun to put together. Snatched. I really love some of the combos that I worked with today. Please let me know your thoughts down below. As always, everything will be linked for you in the description box. And as always, beauties, I appreciate the love and support, and I'll catch you in my next one. Thanks for watching.